गुरु।
हे परम प्रियतम,
हे परम प्रियतम,
पूर्णतम पुरुषोत्तम श्री कृष्ण,
पूर्णतम पुरुषोत्तम श्री कृष्ण,
तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण,
तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण
अनादिकाल से हमने अनंतानंत दुख पाए,
अनंतानंत दुख पाए
एवं पा रहे हैं,
एवं पा रहे हैं।
पाप करते करते अंतःकरण इतना मलिन हो चुका है कि रसिकों द्वारा यह जानने पर भी कि तुम अपनी भुजाओं को पसारे, अपनी वात्सल्यमयी दृष्टि से हमारी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे हो। तुम्हारी शरण में नहीं आ पाता। हे अशरण शरण, तुम्हारी कृपा के बिना तुम्हें कोई जान भी तो नहीं सकता। ऐसी स्थिति में हे अकारण करुण, पतित पावन श्री कृष्ण, तुम अपनी अहेतुकी कृपा से ही हमको अपना लो। हे करुणा सागर, हम भुक्ति मुक्ति आदि कुछ नहीं मांगते। हमें तो केवल तुम्हारे निष्काम प्रेम की एकमात्र चाह है। हे नाथ, अपने विरध की ओर देखकर इस अधम को निराश ना करो। हे जीवन धन, अब बहुत हो चुका। अब तो तुम्हारे प्रेम के बिना यह जीवन मृत्यु से भी अधिक भयानक है। अतएव प्रेम भिक्षा श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे।
Please stand for Aartis and prayers. जयति जगद गुरु गुरुवर की, गाओ मिले आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मिले आरती रसिक वर की। गुरुपद नखमणि चंद्रिका प्रकाश, जाके उर बसे ताके मोहतम नाश। जाके माथ नाथ तब हाथ करे वास, ताते होए माया मोह सब ही निराश। पावे गति मति रति राधावर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। अरे मन मूढ़ छाड़ नारी नर हाथ, गुरु बिनु ब्रह्म श्याम होना देंगे साथ। कोमल कृपालु बड़े कृपा सिंधुनाथ, आके इन्हें आज तू अनाथ हो सनाथ। इन्हीं के अधीन कृपा गिरिधर की, गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। भक्ति योग रस अवतार अभिराम, श्यामा श्याम नाम रूप लीला गुणधाम। बांट रहे प्रेम निष्काम बिनु दाम, हो रही सफल काया नारी नर की। गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ मिली आरती रसिक वर की। लली लाल लीला का सलोना सुविलास, छाया दिव्य दृष्टि विच प्रेम का प्रकाश। वैसा ही विनोद वही मंजू मृदु हास, करें बस बर बस उच्च अट्टहास। झूमी चले चाल वही नटवर की। गाओ गाओ मिले आरती रसिक वर की। जयति जगद गुरु गुरुवर की, गाओ मिले आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मिले आरती रसिक वर की। मत प्रेयान राधिका प्रेयान, मद्धवो राधिकाधव। तस्मादपि गरीयान्यो, कृपालुर्मे जगद्गुरु। गुरुं भजति श्रीकृष्णः, श्रीकृष्णं भजते गुरुः। सिद्धान्ततस्त्व भेदेऽपि, कृपालुर्मे गुरुर्महान्। यस्य साक्षात् भगवती ज्ञानदीपप्रदे गुरौ मर्त्या सद्धिः श्रुतं तस्य सर्वं कुञ्जरशौचवत् एष वै भगवान् साक्षात् प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरः योगेश्वरैर्विमृग्यान् घ्रिर्लोकोऽयं मन्यते नरम् यमुना निकटतटस्थित वृन्दावन कानने महारम्ये कल्पद्रुमतलभूमौ चरणं चरणो परिस्थाप्य तिष्ठन्तं घननीलं स्वतेजसा भासयन्तमिह विश्वं पीताम्बरपरिधानं चन्दनकर्पूरलिप्तसर्वाङ्गम् आकर्णपुनेत्रं कुण्डलयुगमण्डितश्रवणं मन्दस्मितमुखकमलं सकौस्तुभोदारमणिहारं वलयाङ्गुलीयकाद्यानुज्ज्वलयन्तं स्वलङ्कारान् गलविलुलितवनमालं स्वतेजसा पास्तकलिकालं गुञ्जारवालिकलितं गुञ्जापुञ्जान्विते शिरसि भुञ्जानं सह गोपैः कुञ्जान्तर्वर्तिनं नमत मन्दारपुष्पवासित मन्दानिलसेवितपरानन्दं मन्दाकिनीयुतपदं नमत महानन्ददं महापुरुषं सुरभीकृतदिग्वलयं सुरभिशतैरावृतः परितः सुरभितिक्षपणमहा सुरभीमं यादवं नमत अशरण शरण महाप्रभो तुम स्वामी हम दास कीजय कृपा कृपालु मम दीजय गुरु सहवास तुम दीनन रखवार हम अहंकार अवतार अस करु कृपा कृपालु अब दीन बनु सरकार हों ऐसो हों पतित जो पतित न आप ही मान ऐसे पतित विचित्र को पावन करु तब जान सबे भिखारी जगत के जेतिक नातेदार, दिव्य प्रेम आनंद के तुम एक साहूकार। धनी गुरुवर धाम निवास सुनो मन, पुण्यन पुंज सो पाइए जो बनी दीन प्रपन्न, रहो गुरु के नित सेवा सो ताहिर झाइए जो। मन ते हरि को गुरु को सुमेरो, रसना सो सदा गुण गाइए जो। क्षण भंगुर जीवन जानी मना, क्षण हूँ जनी व्यर्थ कमाइए जो। सब धामन वारो वृंदावन है, और वृंदावन हूँ गुरु धाम वारो। तो भजो चली आवे गो ब्रह्म विचारो, है हरि निर्मल भक्तन को गुरु है अधमों को उदाहरण हारो। औरन को गुरु हो या न हो, गुरु मेरो कृपालु सुभाग हमारो। औरन को गुरु हो या न हो, गुरु मेरो कृपालु सुभाग हमारो। बोलिए श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, श्री भक्ति धाम की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, बोल रे। हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, बोल रे। हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि 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 बोल बोल रे हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे हरि बोल 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 हरि 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 बोल 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 बोल रे हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे। बोलिए, ताली बजाइए। हरि बोल 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 हरि 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 बोल हरि 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 बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल 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 बोल रे।
हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे।
हरि बोल बोल रे।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
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 हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल बोल रे।
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 हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
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 हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि 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 बोल
हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल Hari bol, Hari bol,
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 Hari 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 bol,
Hari 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 bol,
Hari bol, 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 Hari bol, bol re
Hari bol, Hari bol, bol re.
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, bol re.
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, bol re.
Book number 2, page number is 14. Book 2, page 14. Sant Jan Barah Maas Basant. This divine composition is by Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, as all the other compositions are, and this is from Prem Ras Madira. Prem Ras Madira is divided into 21 sections known as Madhuris. This is from Siddhant Madhuri, page number is 14. As you know, the Basant season, the spring season has started according to the Hindu lunar calendar. We're in the month of Magh, and we just celebrated, a couple of days ago, we celebrated Basant Panchami, which was the 5th day of the month of Magh. Here Shri Maharaji is saying that for saints, it is spring season throughout the year. How is it the spring season throughout the year for saints? They who have attained God realization, they who are fully devoted to Bhagwan, they whose every pore loves Bhagwan Shri Krishna. How is it spring season for this kind of saint? Piyu piyu kahi kahi chin chin nishidin kukat kokil sant. The cuckoo bird sweetly calls out, piyu piyu, it makes sweet sounds in the springtime. Similarly, the saints lovingly call out to their beloved, Priyatam or Piyu, meaning a beloved. They call out to their beloved all the time. Throughout the year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For them, it's always spring season in this way. Kabahu ka jharat drigan ansuman janu jhar taru patra anant. There are trees that shed leaves in the springtime, and saints shed tears of love for their beloved all the time. And in this way, it is spring season for them all the time. In the spring season, we see that the black bees are flying around, buzzing around, going from one flower to the next, drinking the nectar of the flowers. Very happily, they're intoxicated with the nectar of the flowers. So, kabahunka jhumi jhumi madhukar janu gun gunat gunakant. Black bees fly around, buzzing and humming in the spring season. Saints remain intoxicated, drinking the nectar of Bhagwan Shri Krishna and singing their beloved's virtues all the time. Kabahu pramat phool sarson janu phuli phuli harshant. In springtime, mustard crops swell up and bloom, and they are yellow. a saint's heart swells up with love for the divine beloved. Prem basant kripalu nitya ras sarasant na ant. In the words of Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, spring season lasts only a month or two, but the spring season of love for God in the saint's heart is eternal. It is perennial, giving ever increasing happiness to the saint forever. I would like to read you the Hindi meaning also. क्योंकि जितनी भी ट्रांसलेशन कर लो इंग्लिश में, फिर भी जो रस है ओरिजिनल भाषा में वो तो अपना अलग ही है. तो इस पद में श्री महाराज जी कहते हैं, जगत गुरु श्री कृपालु जी महाराज कहते हैं कि संत महात्माओं के पास 12 महीने बसंत का निवास रहता है. संत लोग बसंत कालीन कोयल की कूक के समान अत्यंत प्रेम भरी ध्वनि में निरंतर पीयू पीयू ऐसा कहा करते हैं. संत लोग बसंत कालीन पतझड़ के समान आँखों से निरंतर प्रेम के अश्रु गिराते रहते हैं. संत लोग बसंत कालीन भौरों के समान गुनगुनाते हुए झूम झूम कर प्रियतम श्याम सुंदर के गुण गाते रहते हैं. संत लोग बसंत कालीन फूली हुई सरसों के समान प्रियतम के प्रेम में प्रमत्त होकर आनंदातिरेक से हृदय में फूले नहीं समाते. श्री महाराज जी कहते हैं कि बसंत काल तो 2 महीने का ही होता है, किंतु संतों का प्रेम बसंत तो नित्य रहता है एवं प्रतिक्षण वर्धमान रस अनंत काल तक प्रदान करता है. बारह मास बसंत संत जन,
12 मास बसंत संत जन.
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 पियू पियू कही कही छिन छिन
छिन छिन निशिदिन.
पियू पियू कही कही छिन छिन निशिदिन.
पियू पियू कही छिन छिन निशिदिन.
कुकत कोकिल कुकत कोकिल संत संत जन.
कुकत कोकिल संत संत जन.
संत जन
संत जन.
कुकत कोकिल संत
जन कोकात कोकिल संत संत जन
बारह मास बसंत संत जन
12 मास बसंत संत जन
कब होक झरत कब होक झरत दृगान असुमन जनु
कब होक झरत दृगान आसुवान जनु
कब होक झरत दृगान असुआन जनु
कब होक झरत दृगान आसुआन जनु
झर तरु पत्र अनंत संत जन
झर तरु पात्र अनंत संत जन
झर तरु पत्र अनंत संत जन
झर तरु पात्र अनंत संत जन
संत जन
संत जन
संत जन
संत जन
12 मास बसंत संत जन
12 मास बसंत संत जन
12 मास 12 मास बसंत संत जन
12 मास बसंत संत जन
कब होक झूमी झूमी मधुकर जनु
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 गुण गुनात गुण गुनात
गुणकंत संत जन गुण गुणात गुणकंत जन गुण गुणात गुणकंत संत जन गुण गुणात गुणकंत संत जन संत जन संत जन संत जन संत जन बारह मास बारह मास बसंत संत जन बारह मास बसंत संत जन कबहु प्रमत्त कबहु प्रमत्त फूल सरसों जन कबहु प्रमत्त फूल सरसों जनु फूली फूली हर्षंत संत जन 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 बारह मास बसंत संत जन बारह मास बसंत संत जन प्रेम बसंत प्रेम बसंत कृपालु नित्य रहा प्रेम बसंत कृपालु नित्य रहा प्रेम कृपालु प्रेम बसंत कृपालु नित्य रहा प्रेम बसंत कृपालु नित्य रस सरसंत रस सरसंत ना अंत संत जन रस सरसंत ना अंत संत जन
रस सर संत अंत संत जन
बारह मास बसंत संत जन
बारह मास बसंत संत जन
संत जन
संत जन
संत जन
संत जन
बारह 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 मास बसंत संत जन
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 Spring season signifies love also. It signifies newness, fresh beginnings. It also signifies love. So let's talk about love. In the divine realm, love is not what we practice in the world, what we call love in the world. They who truly love, they who know how to love, they call the relationships we have in the world, what we call loving relationships, they call them business transactions. Because in worldly love, there's always give and take, give and take. If there's only giving and giving on one side, and there is no giving on the other side, then that so-called love does not remain for very long. There's always an expectation of something in return. You may say, a mother doesn't expect anything from her child. She doesn't expect money from her child. She doesn't expect any worldly goods from her child. Yes, but she does expect love in return for love. No matter how selfless that worldly love may be, it's not completely selfless because there's always an expectation. There's always a feeling that there should be reciprocation. True love means to just give and give without expecting anything in return, not even love in return for love. So when we speak about love, we have to go to the perfect love. So at present, we are practicing loving God. We are aspiring devotees. Sadhak, we are sadhaks. We are learning how to love God. We are trying any which way to think about God. We do try. That's our sadhana. That's a practice we are doing. We are engaged in devotional practice. We are trying to love God. So we are at the sadhana bhakti stage. When a sadhak becomes very adept at this practice, then he reaches the next stage, which is called bhav bhakti. From sadhana bhakti, he goes to bhav bhakti. What happens at this stage is that he doesn't have to convince his mind to love God. His mind is ready and willing to love God. In sadhana bhakti stage, there is always cajoling of the mind and bribing the mind, scolding the mind. Any which way, the sadhak tries to take the mind to God. But when he reaches a bhav bhakti stage, the mind says, yes, I am willing to love him. I'm willing to do sadhana. I love it. I love Lord Krishna. And that's a very high stage, but even at this point, there's no real love. The sadhak is almost there, but he's still a sadhak. And if he makes a mistake called nama parad, if he commits a very serious spiritual transgression, he can come right back to sadhana bhakti. Bhavopya bhava mayati Krishna preshtha paradhataha. If there's an aparadh, if there are feelings of negative feelings towards a saint, some negative feeling comes in towards God, then the sadhak comes crashing down to sadhana bhakti. So in bhav bhakti stage, the sadhak is at a very high stage, but he's not free from danger. He's still under the control of Maya. So these are the two stages of love. That's sadhana bhakti and bhav bhakti. Then when he attains God realization with the grace of his guru, with the grace of the divine guru, because God, remember, always works through the saint. You can say that God comes in the form of a saint, a guru, true guru, and he then graces the individual. So through the grace of the guru, the sadhak now attains, he enters the first stage of true love, divine love. That's called prema bhakti. So all in all, there are 10 stages of love. Sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti. God realization is not here yet. Then after God realization, there are 8 levels. True love. Prema bhakti, sneh bhakti, man bhakti, pranay bhakti, rag bhakti, anurag bhakti, bhavavesh bhakti, and mahabhav bhakti. So there are 8 levels of divine love and 2 levels of love which do not include God realization. So we're at that level, sadhana bhakti stage, very first level. So let's talk about how to attain that divine love. And let's look at the devotees who have attained these various stages. So now, when someone truly loves God, he truly loves Lord Krishna, then there are 3 stages, 3 levels of his love also. And they're called Sadharani Rati, Samanjasa Rati, and Samartha Rati. For instance, if someone loves Lord Krishna, if there's a devotee of Shri Krishna, and he loves Shri Krishna as a beloved, as a priyatam, which is the highest love, the highest sentiment of love, then if he wants only Lord Krishna, not the world, he loves only Lord Krishna, but there is selfishness in his love, meaning he wants Lord Krishna to please him, to give him happiness, like Kubja. Kubja was in her previous incarnation, Shurpnakha, the sister of the demon, the 10-headed demon, Ravan. When she saw Bhagwan Shri Ram, she fell head over heels in love with him. And she propositioned him. Very boldly she went up to him and she said, Tum sampurusha namo samanari. There is no man I have seen quite like you. You're so handsome, you're so wonderful. And she had changed herself into a very alluring young maiden. And she said, there is no female like me. There's none as beautiful as me. She had become very beautiful. She had taken that form. But Bhagwan Ram smiled and said, Devi, I'm a married man, but you may ask my brother, Lakshman. So she went to Lakshman. Lakshman said, why would you want to marry a servant when you can marry the master? So she went back and forth, and ultimately she decided that it was Mother Sita. It was Sita who was preventing Ram from accepting her, so she lunged towards Mother Sita to attack her and kill her. Lakshman intervened and cut off her ears and nose. Everyone knows that story. But her desire was not wrong. She loved God as a beloved. There can be nothing wrong with that. So Bhagwan Shri Ram granted her a boon, a vardhan. And he said, Dwaparante karishyami bhavati nam manoratham, Garga Sanghita. She said, he said, internally, he said, I'm pleased with your devotion, but I cannot fulfill your desire in this life, but I will come back as Krishna towards the end of Dwapar, Dwaparante, Dwapar ke ant mein. At the end of Dwapar, I will come back as Krishna and I will fulfill your desire. So now she has come back as Kubja. She was in the employment of King Kans, the evil King Kans. Kubja was a hunchback woman. She was going on her way to put the tilak on King Kans. That was her seva. She saw Bhagwan Shri Krishna and she could not move. She could not look away. And Bhagwan Shri Krishna, remembering his promise, he put one foot, his one charan, on top of her one foot, and then he put his hand under her chin and straightened her out, so she was no longer a hunchback. And now she became very, very beautiful. And it was her great desire that he should stay with her as her beloved. And so he fulfilled that desire. So Kubja is a very great personality, but if you are looking to go to the highest form of love, then you cannot love God like that, because there's a desire in her, and Shri Krishna fulfilled that desire. Again, I'll emphasize that Kubja did not have any worldly desires. She truly loves Shri Krishna, but hers is sakam bhakti. Hers is selfish devotion. We also say, I love God. Yes, I know, I love him selfishly. I beg him for more money, a better job, a child. I'm a selfish devotee. What can I do? No, then, see, saints would say, the enlightened ones, they will say, no, you're not selfish devotee, you're only selfish. Because there's no devotion to God. Devotion is to the world, we're not devoted to God. If we were devoted to God, and if we say we are selfish devotees, we would be like Kubja. She has no desire in the world. She has no attachments in the world. She sees the world as only filled with Lord Krishna. She only sees Sri Krishna. That's it. So she is a selfish devotee. She's a devotee who is selfish. And we are merely selfish. That's it. So such a devotee, Sadharani Rati, remember it's called Sadharani. Sadharan means ordinary. Sadharani Rati, Rati means love. Sadharani Rati devotee reaches Prema Bhakti, the first level of divine love. And he or she cannot go any further. So remember the 8 levels of divine love. The first one is Prema Bhakti, then Sneh and Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, etc. So such a devotee goes only to the Prema Bhakti stage. And then there are so many other stages. What's happening in the other stages? What's going on? What is all about these stages? What are they all about? The nectar, the sweetness that the devotee experiences, the sweetness of God, it keeps on increasing. So Prema Bhakti, more in Sneh Bhakti, then more in Rag Bhakti, Pranay Bhakti, and so on and so forth. It keeps on increasing. So Kubja remained at Sadharani Rati. That's it. And then let's talk about the queens of Lord Krishna in Dwarika. He was a king of Dwarika. He had 16,108 queens. Now, I will mention here that 16,100 of them were princesses who had been kidnapped by a demon, Asur, named Narakasur. Narak plus Asur, Narakasur. They had been kidnapped by him, and when he released them, when they were released, well, Shri Krishna released them, they called out to Shri Krishna, mentally called out to him, and said, please help us. So he rescued them, and no one was willing to marry them. So they begged Shri Krishna, each and every one of them mentally begged Shri Krishna, please accept us. Please accept me, each and every one of them said. So Shri Krishna, being God, the Supreme Lord, he accepted their prayer because they were truly devoted to him. God always reciprocates the love of the devotee. So these princesses loved him as a beloved, so he reciprocated and he married all of them. And 8 others were also those who either they begged him to marry him, to rescue her and to marry her. For instance, Rukmini, she was going to be married to someone else, and she wrote a letter. She sent a message to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and he kidnapped her according to her desire and married her. So in this way, 16,108 queens. Now, all of them belong to the Samanjasarati stage of love. It's very important to understand this, because we think God realization is God realization, and love is what we experience, what we are given in the world, and what we are giving to others in the world. But that love is not called true love, because there is feeling of reciprocation, and there is selfishness in that. So love starts from prema bhakti. So now the queens of Lord Krishna, they are one step higher than Kubja, but their love is also selfish. They're not as selfish as Kubja, but you can say it's a 50-50 relationship. In other words, these queens, they want, Rukmini, Satyabhama and others, they love the happiness of their husband, Shri Krishna, who is Dwarikadhish, the king of Dwarika, but they also want him to fulfill their happiness, fulfill their desire for happiness. So they want his happiness, they want their own happiness. It's 50-50 relationship. This is called Samanjasarati. And there's a tinge of pride in their heart. Why the pride? Each and everyone is thinking, I am his wife. I have access to him all the time. Patni bhava bhimanatvad gunadi shravanadi ja kvachid bhedita sambhog trishna sandra samanjasa. This is a verse from Ujjwal Neelmani, a scripture that says there is a tinge of pride in the heart of the wives of Lord Krishna, because they are the wives of Lord Krishna. So they belong to Samanjasarati. Now these devotees go beyond Prema Bhakti, Sneh Bhakti, Man Bhakti, Pranay Bhakti, Rag Bhakti, and they go to Anurag Bhakti. They go very much higher. Anurag Bhakti. Their love is not the highest love. Once noticing the pride within the queen's hearts, he decided to show them that there were others who loved him more than they loved him. So he pretended to have a very terrible headache. And all the queens, and remember he was living in 16,108 palaces. He had assumed 16,108 forms, and all of the queens are seeing their husband with a terrible headache. And no matter what they did to relieve him of the headache would not go away. And Shri Krishna acted really well. He said, I'm going to die. I'm not going to survive this. Main hi bachunga. Ye mera sir phat jayega. He started saying things like this, and all the queens are nervous. What's going on? What kind of headache is this? They could not help him. So in all this commotion, Narad Muni came. Narad ji said, what's going on here? All the queens, they said, Narad Muni, Bhagwan, our husband is suffering from a terrible headache. Narad Muni said, headache? He gets headaches? So Narad Muni went up to him, and the queen said, nothing that we've done has helped him. Please see what you can do. Narad Muni said to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Maharaj, ye kaisi leela hai aapki? Aaj kaun si leela kar rahe hain aap? What kind of leela is this? You have a headache? And Bhagwan Shri Krishna remained serious and then said, Narad, I'm dying of this pain. You call this leela? And Narad Muni said, now he's in a serious mood. So Narad Muni said, Maharaj, please tell me, how will you get the relief from your headache? Because you see, this headache is your own creation. So the medicine also is of your own creation. So what is a medicine that will work on foot dust of true devotee? I will take that, I will put that on my tongue, and I'll be perfectly fine. So just get me foot dust, charan dhuli. And Naradji thought, that's easy. I'm a devotee. I can give my charan dhuli, my foot dust. And he was right. But he said, no, he's a trickster. I have been fooled by him many times. एक बार बंदर का रूप बना दिया था. क्योंकि नारद जी ने कहा मुझे हरि का रूप चाहिए, हरि का मतलब बंदर भी होता है, तो बंदर का रूप बना दिया. So Narad ji remembers that once he was tricked and he got the face of a monkey, and he said, no, I'm not going to get involved in this. But I will ask the queens, they are the greatest devotees. And so he asked them, and he got a scolding from each and every one of them. They said, Narad Muni, are you mad? What are you thinking? We, his wives, we will give him foot dust to our husband? We will go to hell for countless lifetimes. We're not going to do that. Narad ji went back to Shri Krishna and said, Maharaj, the disease is of your own making. The medicine also you've told me. Now tell me one more thing. What, Narad? Where's that pharmacy where I'll get the medication? Where will I get this from? And Shri Krishna said, okay, he's coming very close to the solution. He said, go to Braj, go ask the Gopis. And Narad Muni transported himself using his powers of yoga to Braj immediately. And there, as soon as he had told the Gopis about the predicament that their beloved Shyamsundar was facing in Dwarika, he hadn't even telling them completely, all the Gopis who always went barefoot, they sat down and they said, Narad Muni, Naradji, take all the dust you want. We roam around Vrindavan all day long, so we have a lot of dust to give you. Take as much as you want. And Narad Muni said, but hold on, are you not afraid of what people will say about you? That you gave your foot dust to the Lord? They said, we don't care. We do not care what people say. People call us all sorts of names. Oh, these beggar women. Oh, they're characterless. She has a husband at home and she's running after this boy, that Nand, the son of Nand, that mischievous Kanhaiya. We've been called all sorts of names. We do not care what people say. And are you not afraid of going to hell after death? That's such a big sin to give your foot dust for the Lord. They said, we've been to hell. It's not a new place for us. We've been there countless times. You know, we have all been to hell uncountable times. We don't remember, but we've been there. We have suffered the torments of hell. But thankfully, Narak, or hell, is a temporary place of residence. It's a temporary residence for the soul. So we go there, we come back. Just like Swarga is temporary. We go there, enjoy the pleasures of Swargalok, we come back. So we have been there, Naradji, countless times. We don't mind going there. We'd be happy to go there once again. We've gone there because of our sins countless times. So this one time we will go for the sake of our beloved. How fortunate we are. Naradji did pranam to the gopis. He took the dust and he put a few grains in his own mouth. He said, oh, I want to be blessed with this kind of love. Then he took the dust to Vrindavan, to Dwarika, and he gave it to Shri class, Samartharati, A class. There's nothing beyond that. Samartharati. The most completely selfless love, in which the gopi does not ever think about her own happiness. She thinks only about her beloved's happiness. We don't know how to feel that love. We cannot. No matter what, we have some desire within us. We don't know, but we do know of the gopis who belong to Samartharati. These gopis go all the way up. They reach the highest level of divine love. About these gopis, Lord Krishna says, Nijangamapi yagopyo mameti samupasate tabhyah param na me parth nigudha prema bhajanam. Adi Puran. Shri Krishna says to Arjun, O Parth, these selfless gopis, do you know why they remain alive? They remain alive. They take care of their bodies because they view their bodies as vehicles through which they may serve me. They want to take care of their body because each and every gopi of Samartharati love is thinking, through this body, I can serve my beloved. I can bring happiness to my beloved. I can cook him food. I can offer food. I can make flower garlands. Through this body, because I have hands and feet, and I have this body, through my body, I can serve him. This is why I must take care of my body. Shri Krishna says, oh, Arjun, these gopis, selfless gopis, they view their bodies as mere vehicles through which they serve me. This is why they take care of their body. This is what inspires them to pay attention to their body. Otherwise, they would not pay any attention to their bodies. They have only one concern, and that is how to serve me, how to please me. Tat sukha sukhitvam. Narad Muni has praised these gopis in his most excellent scripture called Narad Bhakti Darshan, comprised of 84 aphorisms or sutras. Narad Bhakti Darshan. One of the sutras is Tat sukha sukhitvam, a wonderful mantra for all of us to remember. And that is, I want only his happiness. For his happiness alone. That is the motto of the Samartharati Gopis. Theirs is exclusive love for Shri Krishna and selfless love, completely selfless. Just to give us a glimpse of that, of their heart, what they're really feeling in their heart. In the Bhagavad, we read from the Gopi Geet, Yatte sujata charanam vuruham staneshu bhitah shanaihi priyadadhi mahi karkasheshu tenatavi matasi tadvyathate kinsvit kurpadibhid brahmatidhir bhavadayusham nah. A gopi who is at the Samartharati stage, she says, "Oh beloved Shyam Sundar, when I get the opportunity, the rare opportunity to have you before me, I take your lotus feet, I take the soles of your feet, and I press them to my heart. And that relieves the burning sensation that I have in my heart, because the fire of separation from you burns so brightly in my heart that when I take the soles of your lotus feet and I press them to my heart, I get some relief. But oh my beloved, when I take your lotus feet and press them to my heart, I do it very gently, because your lotus feet are so soft, they're infinitely soft, and my heart is so tough. I always keep your happiness in mind. I always keep your comfort in mind." Now we can read these words, we can hear them, we can understand the meaning, but let me put this in perspective. A mother's child goes missing, and she frantically searches for him. She cannot find him. She lodges a police report. No one can know what their mother goes through. 4 days later, her child is found. When the child is found, she sees him, she screams with happiness, and she takes her child and embraces him very tightly. The child starts to cry because he's so small, he's so delicate. But the mother at that point, she's so caught up with her own happiness that she does not care about the discomfort of her child. The desire for her happiness takes over, it takes precedence over her child's happiness. You'll say that's normal. It's normal for us. Not normal for that gopi who says, why did you not think about the happiness of your child? Why didn't you just embrace him very gently? No, because that wouldn't give me happiness. That's the difference. Now, love that a mother has for her child, again, that's not real love in the eyes of God and godly saints. That's not real love. But when we talk about selfless love, the love that a mother has for her child is the closest that comes. As far as love is concerned, true love is concerned, mother's love for her child comes closest to selfless love. But again, it's not true love. And that child does not give her true happiness. And still, she gets so caught up with her own happiness that she forgets all about the happiness of her child, and she embraces him too tightly. He starts to cry. Now, Shri Krishna he's giving unlimited happiness to the gopi. So think about this. We don't know what unlimited happiness feels like. We've never received it. But think about this. We can only imagine. Unlimited happiness is being given to the gopi when she's embracing her beloved Shyam Sundar. And yet, she is very mindful of his comfort and his happiness. So in this verse that Shri Maharajji, Jagadguru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, called an atomic shlok, an atomic verse in the Bhagavad, because it is so powerful. The gopi is saying, I take the soles of your lotus feet and I press them very gently, because the soles of your lotus feet are infinitely soft and my heart is so tough. I don't want to give you any discomfort. someone who is receiving unlimited happiness, she doesn't get caught up with her happiness, she has only the beloved's happiness in mind. That is samartharati. Samartharati love. And while fanning him, she became so happy, she received so much happiness that tears came into her eyes. Natural, right? When we are very happy, we start to cry. When we are very sad, we start to cry. So she became very happy and tears came into her eyes. Now she had to wipe her tears, right? Went like this. And she is insulting her own happiness. She's saying, why did you come to me? Uchchairaninda dananda maravinda vilo. It's because that happiness has brought about tears in her eyes, and she is thinking, I have to wipe my tears. I cannot serve my beloved without any interruption. This happiness has caused an obstacle in my continued seva. I cannot serve him continually. I must pay attention to my eyes. I must wipe my tears away. So I don't want my happiness. We've never heard anything like this. We don't know how to feel like this. But that is ultimate love. Love that makes no demands on the beloved. No demand whatsoever. Oh, I love him so much, he's not even looking in my direction. Let's say a disciple is thinking about the Guru. Maharaji is not even looking in my direction. I love him so much. There was a devotee who said to me, when Shri Maharaji had come out of India twice, going to Nepal doesn't count, that's almost like India, but to the foreign countries, 2005 and 2007, including the United States. And Shri Maharaji had also gone to Trinidad, West Indies. One of those devotees had now gone to India with me, and he said to me one day, he was sad, he said, you know, when I was in Trinidad, Maharaji was looking at me, and over here in India, he has not even looked at me once even. And I said, let me take you to Maharaji. I went, and Maharaji was so generous with his time, and we had so much access to him. So I took him to Shri Maharaji, and I said, Maharaji, this boy is saying, because there's no Hindi, he doesn't speak Hindi. So I was the interpreter, and he's saying this. Shri Maharaji said, bring me the Bhagavad Gita. So I brought the Bhagavad Gita, go to this chapter, go to this verse. And the meaning of the verse was, he has unlimited eyes and unlimited ears. And that was so beautiful. In other words, I don't have to look at you to see you. I'm seeing you because there are many secret eyes that I have. Because remember, God and saints, they are both equal. Tasmin stajjane bheda bhavat. Narad Muni is saying there's no difference between God and a saint. Why is there no difference? God is God, saint is a saint. Because God gives to the saint all the powers that God has. That is why. So janat tumahi hoya jai. The Ramayana also tells us. So now the saint has the same powers as God. So Shri Maharaji looked at him very sweetly, then embraced him also for a long time and said, and then, you know, through the verse Maharaji told him, I have many secret eyes with which I see you. So there should be no desire. Why should my beloved Guru or God, Shri Krishna, why should he look at me? Am I worthy of being looked at? I'm a worldly person, I have worldly desires, I have anger, greed, hatred, lust, pride, envy within me. I'm not worth looking at. So I'll just concentrate on looking at him. He is worth looking at. God and Guru are worth looking at. We should not care, oh, he's not looking at me. I will see you, I will look at you. One of Shri Maharaji's, one of the poems, poetry, Sher Shairi is this, about a gopi. Zere diwar khade hain, ज़ेरे दीवार खड़े हैं तेरा क्या लेते हैं ज़ेरे दीवार खड़े हैं तेरा क्या लेते हैं देख लेते हैं तपिश दिल की बुझा लेते हैं. The gopi is saying, she's looking at Kanhaiya, she's looking at Shyam Sundar, leaning against the wall and looking at him, stealing glances at him. And she says, I'm so happy just looking at him. Because by looking at him gives me relief from that fire that burns within me so brightly, the fire of separation. Virah ki agni. So Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj has given the same philosophy to everyone in the world. Whether you accept him as your guru or not, he has given the same philosophy to everyone. He didn't keep any secrets from those who did not accept him as guru. He was not in the least concerned with that. Do you know something? He did not make any disciples. I call myself his disciple because I accept him as my guru. Many of you accepted him as your guru, so you say he's my guru. But it's not like he tied something around your neck or gave you guru mantra in the ear, because a guru does not do that. But he's given the same philosophy to everyone in the world, and that is the philosophy of the highest love, philosophy of divine love. He told everyone in the world, if you're going to work so hard at attaining God, then go to the topmost level. Do not settle with any level lower than samartharati. Yes, it may take you a few lifetimes, but keep the aim very clear that you will love him with him. Samartharati gopis, because even amongst the gopis, all of them were not samartharati. They were not at the highest level. So samartharati is the highest love that one can have for God. And these gopis, samartharati gopis, they are the ones who drink the nectar of Maharas. In the world, many people, many very expert dancers, they depict the Maharas, and they're in a circle, and then, and there's one Krishna for every gopi, and they're beautiful dances. But the real Maharas was not just about song and dance. Yes, there was song, yes, there was dance, but in effect, the Maharas, during the Maharas, Shri Krishna gave the sweetest nectar, the greatest happiness to the Samartharati gopis. It was a bestowal of the sweetest happiness. And that is the real meaning of Maharas. It's not just a dance. It doesn't include just song and dance. It's much more than that. So in one of Shri Maharaji's compositions, Kirtans, Shri Maharaji says, Rati samartha ki gopi bana de, रास में नाम मेरा लिखा दे, राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे, राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे. Oh Shri Krishna, I beg you to make me a Samartharati gopi. I too wish to join in the, and Shri Maharaji says humorously, write my name in the list of gopis participating in the Maharas. I too wish to drink that sweetest nectar. So, Basant Ritu has arrived, spring season. It's a lovely season. And we should do Roop Dhyan of Shri Radha and Krishna, of course, all year long. We should do Roop Dhyan like this, but we should do Roop Dhyan of Radha and Krishna in the spring season in Vrindavan. And there are new leaves on the trees, and the mustard crops are in bloom, as we were singing earlier. And the heart is filled with love. Radha and Krishna are in the pleasure groves of Vrindavan, flowery groves of Vrindavan, and they are sitting on a swing, a jhula, and the gopis are swinging that jhula. They are pushing the jhula, and there are flowers and butterflies and springtime season. Spring season is there. We should do Roop Dhyan like that. And then when there's no anger, greed, hatred, pride, envy in the heart, Maya is no longer there. And the thoughts, all the thoughts are about Radha and Krishna, about serving them, about serving Shri Krishna, Radha and Krishna. All our thoughts are about making Radha and Krishna happy. We should look forward to that day, and every day we should try to keep that aim in mind, and we should try to work towards it. Because no aim, whether it's worldly or godly, no aim can be attained without working towards it. So it will not do to say, oh, this Rasik Mahasant, I have accepted him as my guru. Jagat Guru Uttam, Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, 5th original Jagat Guru, and proclaimed as the greatest of all Jagat Gurus who have graced this earth. He is my guru. Yes, but we must follow his teachings. We must work on loving Shri Radha and Krishna selflessly. It's an everyday process. It's a daily process. It's a daily practice that will take us to our aim. if you want to be an expert drummer, dholak player, then one day you say, well, I don't know, I'm not getting it. I just can't play the dholak. It's because you don't practice. If we say, you know, I don't know, I've been wanting to dance and I learned how to dance, but I just can't dance. I have 2 left feet. Well, how much have you practiced? Well, that's the thing, I don't practice. So if we examine our hearts, we will find that there are many things that we want, but we're not willing to work for them. And it doesn't happen like that. Not in the world, not in the material world, not in the godly realm. We need to work at loving Shri Radha and Krishna. Love is not something that comes automatically to us. आपने सुना होगा, प्यार किया नहीं जाता है, प्यार हो ही जाता है. It doesn't make sense. That, you know, love is not something you practice, it just happens. You know, I fell in love, and that makes it sound like, you know, I was just going somewhere and I tripped and I fell in love. It doesn't happen like that. Even in the world, you know, you think about, oh, this person, is this person worth loving? This person, sometimes the thought is, this person has money. This person is very beautiful. This person has good looks. This person is very educated. There is some reason behind that falling in love. It's not a spontaneous thing. So even in the world, we don't fall in love just spontaneously. There's a lot of thought process that goes on. So how can it be that we fall in love with God spontaneously? Countless lifetimes have passed. We are not in love with Him. That means we need to practice. The practice is given the name. The word sadhana means practice. So sadhana must be done every day. And many times I have disclosed to you, I've shared with you what Sri Maharaj Ji has disclosed to the entire world, how to do that sadhana. So for today I wanted to talk about love because although the weather here may not reflect it, but we're in the spring season. According to the Hindu lunar calendar, we're in the month of Magh, and a few days have passed of this month. So we're in the spring season. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai. So I would like to share another beautiful composition in book number 2, page number 78. All these divine compositions, they give knowledge and nectar both. The one we are going to sing, it's from Milan Madhuri of Prem Ras Madira. हिंदी में इसका भावार्थ समझ लीजिए. एक गोपी का श्याम सुंदर से प्रथम मधुर मिलन एवं उसका अपनी अंतरंग सखी से प्रकट करना. अरे सखी, उस निर्मोही मनमोहन ने मेरा मन बरबस मोहित कर लिया. एक दिन की बात है, मैं गहवर वन जा रही थी, जो कि बरसाना में है. वह मार्ग में ही मिल गया एवं पुकार कर मुझसे बोला, अरे ओ सखी, तूने मेरा मन क्यों चुरा लिया है? मैं अकेली थी, क्या करती? उसने जो मन में आया वही किया. अब उसका वही दर्शन और वही स्पर्श पुनः चाहती हूँ. एक क्षण के लिए भी चित्त में चैन नहीं. श्री कृपालु जी कहते हैं, अरे सखी, वह ऐसा छलिया है जिससे बचकर कोई नहीं आ सकती, भले ही वो ब्रह्माणी रुद्राणी आदि कोई हो. You know, the Bhagavad says that Shri Krishna is the only male, and everyone else, whether in the body of a male or female, everyone else loves him and he is the only beloved. And even Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, all are female and he is the only male. So from the point of view of a gopi who loves him, the gopi says that cruel Krishna has forcibly stolen my heart. Mohi, mohi, liyo, nirmohiya. Mohi, mohi, liyo, nirmohiya.
जाती रही गहवर वन।
एक दिन जाती रही गहवर वन।
एक दिन जाती रही गहवर वन।
एक दिन जाती रही गहवर वन।
मार्ग मिली गयो, मार्ग मिली गयो, सो पिया मन।
मार्ग मिली गयो, सो पिया मोहि।
मार्ग मिली गयो, सो पिया मोहि।
मार्ग मिली गयो, सो पिया मोहि।
मोहि लियो नirmohiya।
मोहि मोहि लियो मनमोहिया।
मोहि मोते कही अरी ओ गुजरी।
मोते कही हरि ओ गुजरी।
अरी ओ गुजरी।
हरि ओ गुजरी।
मन मेरो सखी, मन मेरो हरि क्यों लिया मोहि।
मन मेरो हरि क्यों लिया मोहि।
मोहि लियो नirmohiya।
मोहि मोहि लियो निर्मोहिया।
मोहि हाँ इकली रही, हाँ इकली रही। कहाँ करूं सखी,
हाँ गली रही। कहाँ करूं सखी।
कहाँ करूं सखी।
कहाँ करूं सखी।
प्रिय मन भायो, प्रिय मन भायो, सो किया मोहि।
पिया
मोहि मोहि लियो मोहि मोहि लियो नirmohiya
मोहि मोहि लियो nirmohiya
मोहि अब सोई दरस परस पुनी चाहत
अब सोई दरस परस पुनी चाहत
परस पुनी चाहत
दरस पुनी चाहत
चैन ना एक छिन चैन ना एक छिन को जिया मोहि
चैन नायक छिन को जिया मोहि
मोहि लियो मन निर्मोहिया
मोहि मोहि लियो nirmohiya
मोहि कहा कृपालु सो अस छलिया जेहि
कह कृपालु सो अस छलिया जेहि
अस छलिया जेहि
अस छलिया जेहि
बची आवे अस बची आवे अस को तिया मोहि
बची आवे अस को दिया मोहि
मोहि लियो निर्मोहिया
मोहि मोहि लियो nirmohiya
मोहि मोहि लियो मोहि मोहि लियो निर्मोहिया
मोहि मोहि लियो nirmohiya
मोहि मोहि लियो निर्मोहिया
मोहि मोहि लियो nirmohiya
राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
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 भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
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 राधे गोविंद
गोविंद
भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद
गोविंद
भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
ओ राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
भजो राधे गोविंद गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
राधे 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 गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
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 भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
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 भजो राधे गोविंद
गोविंद राधे
बोलिए लाडली लाल की जय.
I want the springtime enthusiasm when you say Jai. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Ladli Lal ki Jai. It's time to offer the Bhog, and the words of the beautiful Bhog song are going to be sung by the excuse me, our junior devotees, our children who are learning how to play harmonium and dholak and manjira. They're learning to sing, and this is what we have. And they do it all with devotion. And start.
अपना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. अपना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया. अपना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ
टुक मन भायो रसिया। नहीं टुक मन भायो रसिया। श्याम आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया। अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया। आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया। जो रस शबरी के जूठे मुख रसिया। जनकपुरी के राज भोग महा सो रस नहीं पायो रसिया। पायो रसिया। आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया। हाँ मानत हाँ भावहीन हरी रसिया। कृपालु पय पियो पूत नहीं याते अब आ जाओ रसिया। रसिया। रसिया हो रसिया मेरे मन बसिया। मेरे मन बसिया। भोग लगाओ रसिया। मेरे मन बसिया। मेरे मन बसिया।
राधे 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 राधे। Thank you all for being here today. My name is Nishta Patel, and I'm one of the volunteers here in Yugulgunj. Our next upcoming event is this coming Saturday, February the 4th. We will have our Akhand 12 hours of Kirtan, which will be led by Didi from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m., followed by dinner prasad. To fully appreciate the divine Kirtans written by our Jagatgurutam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, please try to be here for the entire 12 hours. The other celebration for the month of February are Gopi Prem Divas and Shivratri. The planning is currently underway, so we'll keep you apprised in about...
प्रेम सुधा छलके चसीले बैन रसीले नैन घसीले सैन धुन मैनन मन हारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी परवारी दुहुनी लट लट कनी छवि न्यारी दुहुनी भावट कनी अति प्यारी रसन मुख पान हसन मुस्कान दसन दमकान दुहुनी बेसर छवि न्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की एक उर पीतांबर फहरे नीलांबर लहरे दुहुन लरमोतिन छहरे पुरन भनक दुहुन रुन झुन धुनी प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की एक सिर मोर मुकुट राजे छवि छाजे दुहुन सिर तिरछे भल भ्राजे संग ब्रज बाल लाडली लाल बाह गल डाल कृपालु दुहुन दृग चारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम श्री राम कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरद सुंदरम पटपीत मान तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम पटपीत मान तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम श्री राम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम श्री राम श्री राम सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदार अंग विभूषणम आजान भुज शर चाप धर संग्राम जित खर दूषण आजान भुज शर चाप धर संग्राम जित खर दूषण श्री राम श्री राम इति वदति तुलसी दास शंकर शेष मुनि मन रंजनम मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल रंजनम मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल रंजनम श्री राम श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भजु मन हरण भव भय दारुणम नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम। बोलिए लाडली लाल की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, रासेश्वरी राधा रानी की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, जगत गुरुत्तम श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की जय, श्री भक्ति धाम की जय, श्री युगल कुंज की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय